Whether you are someone that has worked in the tech industry and you're interested in potentially switching genres of your job, or you're someone that has no idea what you're doing, you've heard of coding, and you don't really know what's the best one, this video is for you. Hi, my name is Courtney. I'm a college developer, and today I'll be breaking down different career paths just so we can give a little bit of a baseline for everything. I'll be ranking everything based off of salary, ease of entry, job availability, AI resistance, long-term upside, and potential entrepreneurship routes. Start off with software engineering, the tried and true, what everybody likes to talk about. First off, when it comes to general salary ranges, they range between $90,000 and $160,000 a year, with the median salary for software engineers being $133,000. And the top 10% of software engineers making about $211,000 a year. Now, that sounds like a really nice thing, and there are a lot of different resources online that you can take advantage of to learn coding skills necessary to break into software engineering. Some things that people might not necessarily talk about when you're really getting started is leak code and doing some systems design. Those are the more intermediate and advanced topics that you definitely need to learn to actually get hired. So I want you to be privy to those before you try to start applying to jobs willy-nilly. But however, definitely get started, get your toes wet with learning some of the different languages. My first language was JavaScript, but I know Python is another super popular one that people start off with. I personally really like Scrimba, not sponsored, but they're just a great program in general where you can learn the content and then practice alongside of it. Regardless of what you decide to do, make sure that you're practicing the skills alongside you learning them, because that is genuinely how you actually solidify what you are learning. Now, when it comes to difficulty, I'm going to say 7.5 out of 10. Learning to code, like I said, is accessible, but learning those actual necessary skills to be a good software engineer is difficult. I highly recommend checking out NeetCode if you want to get good at those data structures and algorithms. Then when it comes to the skills of this job, obviously programming skills, data structures, APIs, databases, Git commands, cloud systems, system design, system structure, debugging, and more AI knowledge. Now, all these jobs, you'll find that knowing how to use AI and implement it into the workforce, that's going to be a skill that you're going to need to know for everything. Now, when it comes to job availability, there is a huge need for good software engineers, and that's kind of where the drop-off is happening. I think a lot of the bigger tech companies hired on a lot of people, especially during COVID when everybody was needing technology and using technology a lot. But when it comes to actually being productive and delivering, and then also AI kind of taking over some of the lower level jobs, we're starting to kind of pinhole what we really need in big tech. So a lot of those jobs that we're just hiring willy-nilly they're definitely going to be slipping through the cracks. When it comes to long-term upside, I'm going to say high. Senior and staff level engineers make upwards of $500,000 a year. So there's a huge upward potential, and then entrepreneurship potential, I'm also going to put that fairly high as well. You can literally build anything. You can build a software as a service and sell it and then get acquired. And people do that for billions of dollars. So there is a huge entrepreneurial side to it. I don't want to downplay that at all, but I definitely don't want to have this entire video be about software engineering. Let's get into the next category, which is AI engineering. Now, this one is fairly good, with the median salaries ranging from $100,000 to $210,000, with specifically the average being around $145,000 according to Glassdoor. Difficulty to entry, I'm going to say 9 out of 10. It's higher than general software engineering because you are specialized in something, and this something specifically is fairly difficult to understand. You need to understand those linear algebra, differential equation type of that style of math, so you need to be able to really understand those different things. Similarly, when it comes to skills, when I spoke to Google, Microsoft, and Apple engineers that do AI, specifically for Google DeepMind, the main language that they spoke about was Python, so I highly recommend learning Python and Java. And then other skills that you need are machine learning fundamentals, LLMs, embeddings, RAGs, agents, PyTorch, GPU infrastructure, and cloud knowledge. AWS and Azure both have great cloud certifications, so I highly recommend checking those out if you want to maybe do something more along the lines of cloud engineering. I'm not really going to go too deep into that potential option in this video, but cloud engineering additionally is a great silo of technology as well. Fairly competitive for that one as well, but the pay is fairly nice. I'll add that below. College preparedness. Now, this one is very math heavy, so I highly recommend if you're going to college specifically trying to become an AI engineer, you double computer science and mathematics, specifically making sure that you're doing a lot of linear algebra and statistics for this type of engineering. You learn how to train and evaluate models, work with data sets. There's a lot of different skill sets necessary to really lock in. And again, like software engineering, doing projects really helps you out. And for AI, actually doing a lot of research will help you out when it comes to growing in this industry as well. One of my friends that I did a program with went to an Ivy League for undergrad in CS and mathematics, and then is now getting her doctorate in AI research, because that's kind of like base level if you want to work in big tech for AI. A lot of people just have their doctorates right after undergrad. And then long-term upside, I'm going to say extremely high. AI is taking a lot of the jobs of like low-level, mid-level software engineers. So specializing in building AI models and is really going to like kind of spare you in that mass layoff side. That's going to occur more. And then entrepreneurship potential, I'm going to say 10 out of 10 for this one, because right now, I hate to say it, but we are in an AI bubble. So you should definitely take advantage of your skills, build something. AI companies are getting acquired every single day for hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. So creating a good product, you're going to either have high levels of annual recurring revenue or potential acquisition after the first 5 to 6 years. So absolutely, it's going to take some time to actually invest into it, but there's some high potential. And then the next one I'm going to do is my personal favorite, which is product management. It takes the skills of talking and then actually understanding the tech stack. The average salary ranges for this one is $90,000 to $160,000, with the average median being about $151,000. Difficulty to break in, I would say 8.5 out of 10. Becoming a PM is extremely difficult. There's a huge market for it. Back in the day, people didn't go to school to become a product manager. Nowadays, people are specifically getting degrees in product management. They're taking classes in product management because it is so difficult to become a product manager. Essentially, there are tens of thousands of people applying for one specific job. So it's definitely a bit more competitive. When it comes to the skills that you need to know, you need to have the product sense skill. I'll link a crap ton of resources down below for helping you out, but I Got an Offer is a great resource. And then also just watching PM do interviews is a great way to understand some of the product sense necessary on the job. Obviously you need the communication skills, analytics skills, and then you'll also need some of those technical skills as well. But then in addition to the tech side, you'll also need the strategy and business outreach side. You'll be speaking to stakeholders, business owners, things of that sort. So you'll definitely need to have the full range of skills necessary. And a lot of PM roles are more moving into solutions architecture roles or forward engineering or forward developer engineer, FDE. All three of these roles are fairly comparable. So I'm kind of I'm not gonna sort of squeeze them into each other, but I do want to say that all of these roles have their own salaries, but regardless, they're all gonna kind of become the same thing after a while because AI can essentially code for you. So PMs no longer have to do a full PRD. Instead, they can literally just create a MVP with with AI essentially. So that kind of somewhat corrals them with the solutions architecture and forward engineering, because all they do is literally see an issue and then actually code the solution. So that's kind of where having those technical skills are necessary, especially if you want to be a TPM, technical product manager. It's in the name. Salaries will differ, and obviously I'm putting them below as well so you can kind of see how they differ. College preparedness. Build projects and build projects with users on it. That's what when I speak to every single PM currently, whether I schedule a coffee chat via LinkedIn or I go to an event, every single one tells me the same thing, which is to build a product and get actual users on it. That is the best way for you to have people listen to people, get feedback, build iterations, and showcase your abilities to plan something and develop it, launch it, and then make some changes on the long way down. The next thing that I have is being a founder. Now, being a founder working in startups, the pay ranges is very vast, but I want to make it very clear. Most founders make $0 for the first 5-7 years of actually working. And then after that, the pay ranges increases to around $100,000, with the median income being about $75,000. Difficulty, I'm going to say 10 out of 10, not necessarily because it is really hard to be a founder, but it's a lot of work that you have to put into it. You have to understand the ins and outs of your product that you are trying to develop, and then get users, and then get investors, and get feedback from the users, build together a team, or you're working solo. It's even harder. Marketing, marketing it to people. There's a vast level of knowledge that you have to be a truly successful founder. It is not for the weak, but the payoff is high. When it comes to skills needed, number one, obviously you'll need sales skills. You'll need to be able to sell your product. Next, you'll actually need the product knowledge, actually the technical skill set, recruiting, fundraising, leadership, marketing, finance, strategy. The list goes on for founder skills, but like these are things that are truly necessary to be a successful founder, potentially getting high levels of recurring revenue and then potential acquisition. When it comes to job availability, technically it's unlimited. You can just like create whatever. So that one doesn't really count for this one here. This one doesn't really fit under the typical like guidelines and parameters of a typical like 9-to-5 job. The best and safest option at the end of the day is software engineering, but there are a lot of alternatives as well. The best technical bet is an AI engineer. If you truly understand those machine learning algorithms, I highly recommend going that route. Best founder preparation, I'm going to say being like a startup engineer, founder, product manager, solutions architect. Best business or leadership path is definitely product manager, because that does kind of follow the 9-to-5 regime. There's a very clear path upwards. And then highest risk and highest reward obviously goes to being your own founder. Whether you want to becoming a software engineer, become a product manager, or become your own founder, I have a crap ton of videos that are here for you. Additionally, I will link down a whole bunch of resources down in the description as always. I hope you found value in today's video. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Quartz Corner.